Hello, bonjour, here I am back on YouTube and I'm very glad to be here even if the learning curve is still very steep. It's been a while and it's been a wild winter and I'm going to share all of it with you here today. So today, as usual, I will share as many interesting and fun facts I discovered in museum exhibits or very beautiful artworks, but I will also share what kept me so busy this winter. It's been a crazy winter and for many good reasons I couldn't keep up with the rhythm I had for my editing and publishing videos, so I would say I failed my 2025 goals on YouTube. Should you visit Paris this spring or summer 2026, I will keep you posted here on this channel, Paris Créa, on what are the places and what are the museum exhibits that are not to be missed, as I will try to keep up with the rhythm of one video every 2 weeks. That's my new goal for 2026. But for today, I will try to summarize all the winter exhibits. So let's dive in, shall we? And the first exhibit I'm going to share today is the one about Magellan. It was a great exhibition, as much for the content as for the scenography. It was dedicated to the greatest maritime feat of all times. Magellan expedition took place between 1519 and 1522. Spoiler alert, it did end badly for Magellan himself. Out of 237 men, only 18 went back to Seville, but they did go around the Earth planet. An Italian nobleman, Pigafetta, who set sail aboard the Trinidad ship as the voyage chronicler, noted down everything about the expedition. So thanks to him, we know everything about the storm, the revolt, the unknown landscapes, the wildlife, the people they encountered, and thanks to him, the expedition could become legendary. At the head of this exhibition, the Portuguese captain, Ferdinand Magellan, took the audacious bet of finding a passage through the American continent to reach the Pacific Oceans on the other side of the world. The goal of this grand voyage was to reach the Moluccas Islands in Indonesia, known as the Spice Islands, where the precious clove trees, coveted by the rival kingdoms of Spain and Portugal, grew. After this visit, I returned to La Baule, where my own small exhibition in a small museum was set up. Although everything was ready, I found the situation very scary and I had no idea of what to expect as I was going to welcome visitors. Of course, I was very grateful to have been offered this opportunity 2.5 years ago to have my own show in this museum, but still it was a huge place and I was very much impressed by the size of it. Even though I have had my own paintings exhibits in Paris before, this one was very different because it was a museum residency. A museum residency is a part of a museum dedicated to a living artist. Fortunately, the opening of my exhibit took place just before the autumn school break. So from day one I was lucky enough to have many visitors and I couldn't have time to overthink the situation, as I almost wasn't able to say hello and welcome to everyone. There, I also chose to share the creative process with watercolor, and soon enough there were adults attending workshops. Of course, after the school break, there were fewer visitors, but pretty soon I was welcoming school groups. Either children or teenagers were visiting the exhibit and asking questions, and that was very fun too. Sometimes on closed days, I would go to Paris and visit an exhibition, so I will show you what I visited, or I would go and visit my own kids, my adult kids, and that was fun breaks too. I visited the fascinating exhibition at La Maison Victor Hugo about a little-known passion of the famous writer, which is interior design. It's an aspect of his work that many people don't know about, and this exhibition highlighted just how creative he was, not only as a writer but as a designer. He would actually imagine and design pieces of furniture and then have them built by his carpenters. Here you can see the writer's desk, and it's very unusually tall because Victor Hugo often wrote standing up. And the lower part of this furniture is wide and comfortable for children. You wouldn't miss La Maison Victor Hugo as the view of the Place des Vosges is gorgeous. Then there was the organization of the reception for my exhibition, and I also wrote a small booklet connected to the show. I wanted this little book to share my journey during the residency and hopefully spark creativity in the readers. Of course, next thing I know, it was already Christmas, so I came back to Paris for the holidays. During that time, I had the chance to visit the new foundation Quartier pour l'Art Contemporain, and it's a space very interesting just next to the Louvre Museum. It was a very great exhibition. And then I went back to La Baule again to take down the exhibition, pack everything and clean up the space. And something very unusual happened. It snowed, which is very rare over there, and seeing snow on the beach was really surprising. Snow on the sand is not something you see very often. Once I was back in Paris, I returned to my rhythm of visiting exhibitions, and I went to see the manga exhibition, and I also saw the largest carpet in the world at Le Grand Palais. That exhibition was truly installed only for 8 days, and it was a very, very special exhibition. This exhibition at Le Petit Palais was truly beautiful. It was all about Finland's nature and it was absolutely stunning. It was with Paul Gauguin, whose student he became in 1893, that Pekka Alonen found his artistic path, and he was dedicated to paint the soul of Finland through its landscapes and its ancestral traditions. And of course, last but not least, I will show you the exhibition Flops at le Musée des Arts et Métiers, including the famous mechanical horse that ran on the Seine River during the opening ceremony of the 2024 Summer Olympics. So, why am I so excited about the coming week? First of all, there is the Renoir exhibition opening at le Musée d'Orsay, and I am a big fan of Renoir paintings, so it should be a gorgeous exhibition. Then I also have another opening at le Musée Guimet, which should be also a great exhibition. And third, but last but not least, I will attend a one-day conferences at l'Institut France under the very famous coupole. It will all be presented by searchers and how they use AI in their field, so that should be so much interesting. Also, spring is almost there, so this should be a fun week. So that's all for this back to YouTube video, and until next time, à bientôt. J'y arrive pas. Oh mon Dieu, j'y arrive pas, déjà c'est le début, j'y arrive pas. Voyons voir ce que ça donne. Ceci explique peut-être cela. On est parti? Oh non. J'avais dit. I'm not a quitter. So, let's do this. Allez.